Jordan Spector, founder of Spector Sports Arts, has built a national following for his high energy, emotionally charged artwork that captures the biggest moments and athletes in sports. He is a former football player at Temple University, launched Spector Sports Arts in 2015, and has since created commission works for Fanatics, for NFLPA, Golden, the Eagles, the Phillies, and stars across all sports. His pieces have become a staple in the hobby, in locker rooms, and in fan collections nationwide. Tonight, he joins Greeny Sports Cards Lives to talk about his journey, his creative process, and the intersection of art and the modern sports hobby. It is our distinct pleasure to welcome in Jordan Spector.
What's going on, guys? Let me get this centered.
Man, what's happening? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. And I love the intro. I don't know if I'm one of the most recognized in the nation, but I appreciate it. We'll go with that.
I don't know, man. Some of those cards are really cool, man. I've seen them.
So they are. We're gonna manifest that, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Come on now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was going through some of them, and Jason Kelsey. How is it working with him? Give us a little insight on our Cleveland guy here.
Oh man, Kelsey is a very down-to-earth guy. He really makes you feel welcome, or anybody that's in his presence. Like, he does not make anything bigger than it needs to be. So he's really awesome to work with and just awesome to be around. Every time that I've been around him, he's been, just like a dude that you're just hanging out with, having a beer with. So he really is
garage beer, of course.
Yeah,
garage beer, of course. Yeah.
That's right.
Gotta say that.
Yeah, man. We love everything about the Kelseys here in Cleveland. Their podcast is absolutely hysterical. Watching him jump at the Bills game, and he breaks the tables. Jason Kelsey, that guy enjoys his life, no doubt.
He does. He's doing it right. He's doing it right. No doubt about that.
So Jordan, let's take you back a little bit. You were, I believe, a walk-on at Temple University, and your football career was cut short a little bit. How did that moment become the spark for you, or how did that transition to you into artistry and evolved into what it's become today?
I think the game of football has just always carried its way into my life. Just the dedication, the discipline, the hard work that I put into the sport just kind of carried into life in general, whether it was just going to college and finishing my academics, or starting a business and pursuing that, and just staying consistent, right? Because a sport like football and trying to get to college, or guys going to the NFL, like, you got to be consistent with whatever it is you're doing. So I think the practices that I learned and kept in football carried into life in general. So that's always something that stuck with me. And I feel like I know other former athletes that are also creatives who kind of have that same mindset, and you can see it in them, the way that they work.
But even before that, growing up as a kid, did you always, you must have dabbled in art. You must have knew that you can draw. Ever think that, one day I'm going to actually make this a career, a living out of doing something that I enjoy to do?
I really didn't. And I really love talking about where I am today, because I really never thought I'd get to the point I'm at now in business and in the relationships that I've built and the collaborations that I've done. It's just been an incredible journey for me, and I always enjoy being able to talk about it, and hopefully not just gloat about it, but inspire others that want to follow that path, follow that dream. And knowing that I literally started from nothing, like, I literally started from my dorm room in college. And you hear that a lot from entrepreneurs and successful artists, or actors, or musicians. That's how it starts. You got to start somewhere. So why not start now, right? And that was kind of my mindset when I began in college. But I originally began with no individual goal. I just was doing it because I enjoyed it, because I enjoyed creating, and at that time I enjoyed channeling the game of football through art, because I can play more, but why not create art? Because that's my other talent and my other passion.
Jordan, the hobby is built on nostalgia and emotion, and it seemingly are those things that drive your artwork. what is your process that hones in on a specific moment? The Fernando Mendoza dive, it might be one of the more obvious ones, but how do you select a specific moment within a specific game and turn that into an iconic piece of art?
Um, it really is just whatever moment in time speaks to me, right? So like that moment, Mendoza, my most recent art print that we put out, that instantly in my head, I knew I was like, wow, like I was already following the story up until the playoffs and thought it was incredible what they were accomplishing. And it was basically handed to me that moment as an artist to be able to say, wow, what other time in history has this happened? Not only the journey that he had to get to where he was at, but that entire team. And then to end it on that play, the way that he did it, like so poetic, so epic, like it was a no-brainer for me. So a lot of my pieces kind of come about like that. I did a piece of Joe Burrow when they won a national championship in 2020 that went absolute viral in the Baton Rouge area, which led to me going on ESPN down there and all these other experiences. And it's just cool when you kind of just feel the inspiration and let go and just get to work, and that's what I do still to this day with a lot of pieces. And I don't do work that I don't enjoy doing most of the time. So yeah.
How interesting is it to see the reaction of the athlete when they get to see it for the first time?
It brings me a lot of joy when the reactions, especially more than I thought it would be, or they say something that I didn't expect, or just overall appreciate what it is that I'm presenting to them. Because not every guy has a reaction. Not every guy really appreciates it like other guys might, which is fine, and that happens. But when you do have a guy that you've created a piece of and get to see their reaction, more than you would have expected, it's always a lot of fun. And I've learned as well to set my expectations low, because you really don't want to have this fantasy thought of you presenting a painting or something you create an athlete and them not liking it as much as you might have thought they would have. So, but it's always very rewarding when I'm able to have a great interaction and see a reaction that is priceless.
How did you land on the trading cards? Did you ever were collecting them as a kid growing up? Did you buy sell cards? Did you just think, I'm going to do artist. I'm going to make these posters or pictures, paintings, and then
Well, I've
I'm going to
got
make some
some
of the
right
trading.
next. I've got some right next to me that I'll start to show off if this camera allows me. This is I don't know why it's pointing out like that. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
I can. Randall
This
Cunningham.
is a Randall Cunningham. Yep. This is one of my most recent drops in March. This is autographed by him. So, the capabilities and the quality of the product I'm doing now has just come a long way. And I'm really excited about where it's at. Everything comes in an all touch now. We have the ceiling stickers up top, and this is just one of many. But the cards came about basically initially through watching and seeing the excitement in the hobby with Tops doing Project 2020 and all these like artist collaborations. And I knew some of the artists that were involved with them for some of their early projects when the hobby started to really take off when COVID hit. And I was kind of sitting on the sideline, enjoying what I was seeing and trying to learn more about the hobby, and also waiting and hoping that one of these companies would hit me up to do work for them. And they never did. So that kind of motivated me a little bit more just to do my own thing. I was like, well, I don't need them. I can figure out my own way to do trading cards and get into the hobby. So that's exactly what I did. And in 2023, I ended up spending, I don't know, 5, 6 months, probably even more than that, just thinking about it and then actually taking action, but really doing the due diligence to understand what the hobby's all about, how to make like real trading cards, not just me making them in a little studio, like working with an actual manufacturer to do serial numbered runs, to case them up properly, to have these custom boxes that we do with every project, these magnetized boxes, like every little detail, there was so much time and thought put into. And it's just evolved ever since. And I couldn't have picked a better guy to launch our first project with than Brian Dawkins in 2023, because that still to this day was one of our biggest projects ever. And that was quite a way to kick off Immortals. And Immortals, along that process, was something I came up with as the brand name and what I wanted my cards to embody, this kind of immortal feeling and telling the story that lives on forever through my art on a card. So that's kind of how it came to be.
Jordan, you've been an athlete. You've worked closely and collaborated with athletes. What's the most surprising thing you've learned about athletes throughout the art process and working with them?
The most surprising thing? I think the most surprising thing, at least initially when you're getting into this and you're working with athletes, is truly how normal a lot of them are and how much of a human they are, like we are, right? Because a lot of the time these guys get glorified. You just see them on TV, and naturally, you think that they're larger than life, but they're really not. And it's very refreshing when you do work with an athlete that is very normal and even keeled and is respectful and does all the right things, right? Because the point that I'm at, I've worked with guys that are great to work with and other guys that are not so great to work with, right? Guys that are professionals and guys that are not professionals, right? Because you're going to get both. So that's a part of the learning process as well. As I've explored this hobby and working with so many athletes, and so I know how it's supposed to look and how it's not supposed to look now. I can say for sure.
Have you looked, kind of researched yourself on the secondary market? You're making something of value. People are buying these. Eventually, people are going to resell them. Have you looked to see any of your cards on the secondary market?
Absolutely. I actually have a couple individuals who consistently update me with new sales on eBay, whether it's customers, or we do have some customers that are both, like, they'll buy like 10 cards, for example, in a drop, keep 5 of them, sell 5 of them, just as an
Sure.
example. But we have quite a few collectors like that. I'll give a shout out to my guy Frank Murphy, who is kind of like a mentor to me in the space, and he constantly will send me new eBay listings or new sales on eBay. And I'm always amazed to see some of these comps on eBay for my stuff. And it's exciting to see, right? Because that's another thing that I really want to accomplish, is not only, the value to the collector who keeps it, but the value to the collector who wants to flip, right? So they can be comfortable if they're going to buy multiple, to know, okay, there is value to this on a secondary market. And Jordan is not going anywhere. He's here to stay in the hobby for a long time. And, I still feel like we're just scratching the surface as far as the capabilities and the things that I'm going to do, but it's been really cool to see that secondary market effect. So.
Well, Jordan, your art is terrific. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate your perspective on the hobby. Let everybody know where they can find you on the social media channels, on the website, if they want to purchase your art. Give us a sense where they can connect with you.
Absolutely. So my Instagram is at Spector_art. These things are still not showing up.
Yeah.
At Spector_art. And then my website is spectorsportsart.com. I've worked with over 50 athletes at this point, doing direct collaboration card drops with them. We did a whole series with pretty much the entire Eagles full team last year. It's a lot of Philly stuff, but I've been doing non-Philly stuff as well. So there's plenty to choose from on my website if you guys want to check it out. And before all that, there's also wall art that I still create, paintings that I do that we have drops of, art prints, canvases, all limited, signed by me. So go check it out. Instagram behind the scenes, spectorsportsart.com to buy prints, canvases, trading cards. And yeah,
we can't wait to see what's next on the horizon. We'll keep an eye on that.
There's a lot coming.
Cool.
So
Jordan, man, we appreciate your time. Thanks.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch, Jordan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.